Hey, what's going on guys? I'm Silent Core and welcome back to my Red Dead series. Today we have some huge information to cover regarding a future DLC into the game, including drivable boats, bank robberies, and even some movement on a possible Guarma update, or even the ability to visit this area within some kind of online mission. So we'll be covering all that good stuff in today's video. Now there's no denying 2020 was a slow year for Red Dead Online. In that whole 12 months we basically only got one roll and a half basically, which was less than what was promised to us by Rockstar themselves at the start of 2020. However, there continues to be discoveries within the game files indicating big future content coming to the game, so hopefully this will give you guys faith to keep on following this game and keep on playing for this future content. Alright, so let's get into some of these new discoveries within the game files. First of all is boats, and more specifically drivable boats in Red Dead Online. This was found by Randy Light, and he even prepared some gameplay for me to share with you guys, showing him actually driving these boats and what they actually look like in game. He's using some kind of PC mod here to be able to actually spawn this. And he was actually able to find multiple different boats and ships added into the game, so there's one small ship and also two variants of a tugboat that's been added to the game that have the drivable option. Now it's worth noting here that this is new content. This is not leftover content from the story mode, it's not cut content from the launch of Red Dead Online. This is new game files that have been added to the online multiplayer game files with the latest DLC, so with the Bounty Hunter expansion update. Now you have to kind of ask yourself, why would Rockstar add boats, and specifically drivable tugboats, to the game files with the latest update, and even include the interior of these vehicles and make them drivable? This is a very good indication that this is an update Rockstar are currently working on and will be available with a future DLC. Personally, I think it would be pretty cool to own some of these vehicles and boats as like a personal vehicle, similar to how they work in Grand Theft Auto Online, and even potentially give us the ability to maybe even own a dock in the game to be able to spawn these and store these vehicles. Alright, next up is robberies, and more specifically bank robbery content has been found within the game files of Red Dead Online. Now this has been a huge requested feature from players pretty much since day one of the beta of Red Dead Online, since robberies from the single player were actually removed when online was released. So I'm sure you guys will agree it is about damn time we had some robbery content in the game. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys some images on screen. Up first we have a bank bond. Now this is normally something that would be stored in a bank vault and you'd have to go in there and rob it. And as you can see on the front it has Saint Denis Bank Bond, $1,000. Next up is probably the most telling one for me personally, and that is the addition of a safe. As you guys can see, there's even the dial there that we'd use to actually rob this safe that would most likely exist in some kind of bank or bank heist mission. The next item is a jewelry bag, and here's a glimpse at what the texture looks like. Obviously it won't look exactly like this in game. This is basically a flat texture, so it doesn't look perfectly right when we look at it in this picture, but it will actually create an actual object when it's spawned in the game. It's a bit hard to tell at this stage what this jewelry bag could be used for, but obviously in the single players we were able to rob trains, we could rob passengers, and rob jewelry, things like that. So the fact that these files have been moved within the multiplayer game files of Red Dead Online with the latest DLC is a very good sign. The next item is listed as a strong box, which looks like some kind of lockbox that we can loot in the game. It does look quite similar to some of the ones we have already in the game, so perhaps this could be some lootable or robbable item. I also want to give credit here to two people for these findings, and they are RMLGTA and also Randy Light for sharing these images. Next up, let's talk about Guarma, and personally this is one that I'm very, very interested in. This one was shared by Rockstar Guides on Twitter, and he said Guarma files in patch pack 8 with today's update, which was the Bounty Hunter expansion update, and he added perhaps a legendary bounty taking place there. Now I've actually been sitting on the information I'm covering in today's video since the Bounty Hunter expansion update, but I didn't want to create this video before all of the drip feed legendary bounties were released, just in case this was just legendary bounty content and not actually a future DLC. However, Rockstar only created 3 legendary bounties with the Bounty Hunter expansion update, and we have them all released in the game, and none of those bounties used any of these assets. So that kind of rules out the possibility of it being a legendary bounty and actually gives us a good hint at some kind of future DLC. If we take a closer look at this image, you can see there's some saleable assets and also some assets that are actually labelled Guarma within their game file name. Now I don't want to get your hopes up too much for this one. This could potentially just be some assets from Guarma that Rockstar are going to just reuse in the online version of the game, or potentially it could be some kind of Guarma mission that would be accessible there and we'd be able to revisit it only through that mission. I very highly doubt Rockstar would ever add Guarma as a kind of freely accessible area within the free roam of the game. And the reason for this is likely the same reason they didn't do it for Grand Theft Auto Online, where they released the new island recently with their expansion. The new island in Grand Theft Auto is actually only accessible through the heist, and you can't access it in free roam, so it would most likely work the same way in Red Dead. So guys, that's everything we know so far about boats, robberies and Guarma in Red Dead Online. Now if I had to give my estimate, I don't believe we'll be seeing this new content anytime soon. I do believe we'll get a major update later on in the year in 2021, but the next DLC is most likely going to be a smaller one. And the reason behind that theory is the fact that Outlaw Pass 5 is already within the game files, so when Outlaw Pass number 4 ends in mid-March, Outlaw Pass number 5 will most likely follow directly after, with a small role expansion update similar to the size that we had with the Bounty Hunter expansion, and we'll have to actually wait for the next major DLC, so Outlaw Pass number 6, and the following DLC for a major update. But yeah, that's basically just my personal opinion based on the evidence that we have so far, but of course let me know what you guys think down in the comments section below. If you want to be kept up to date with all the latest Red Dead news and updates, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any breaking information. Have yourselves a great day, and I'll catch you in the next one.